Welcome, welcome, family of oneness. Um, those are the words of a comrade in the struggle who always greet in one of those WhatsApp fora. So I just want to share these lyrics here. I do not own the rights to the music. I was just caught in the moment that the music was played in the background. And the words that I caught, it says, I'm lighting a candle as a sign of resilience. Never again to genocide. Hello there, my name is Judith, and I am your spiritual psychologist. So today, as you can see on the screen, our topic is Seeing with the Eyes of the Gods. Yes, I know some people will be like, how many gods do we have? Yeah, some religion they have many gods, and others have just one god and a mediator in between. So, seeing with the eyes of the gods is very interesting. Um, that I got this week about visualization. So we're going to look into this topic. Our point of discussion will center on these 5 points. One, you are the architect to redefine your identity and reality. Two, be a part of this monumental shift to shape the next phase of human consciousness globally. Three, all systems, all versions are dying. Four, the real battle is identity. Five, seeing in a positive and new perspective. As a people who are fighting for their sovereignty and independence, we are united under one vision, under one goal, under one purpose of freedom, independence, sovereignty of our people, of our nation, our beloved nation, Amazonia. That is what has brought us to this point. For 9 years, we have been here actively and, you know, honestly doing what we know how to do best to free ourselves. Because most of us who are in the diaspora will be thinking that, oh, we want to free the people back home. No, you are freeing yourself. You are freeing yourself. It's you first, and then the people back there. So if you have left the struggle and you're thinking that, oh, you were doing it for people back there, no, you were just deceiving yourself. It is you first, because if you don't have that vision of who you are and how you want other people to see you and how you want to live or see this life, you cannot stay in this struggle up to this point. That is just a fact. And that's the truth. Okay? So before we delve into this topic, I would like to announce to everyone watching that we are going to the phase two of the draft, which is launching um, the federal, no, not the federal draft, the county draft tomorrow at 8 p.m. Amber time. 8 p.m. Amber time. So come and draft. If you didn't have the opportunity to draft in the federal, come and draft in your counties. Money is needed to finance this revolution. Freedom is not given on a platter of gold. Freedom is being fought for. That is how the rulers of this world, they have made the human race to be fighting. That you cannot have anything free. But we, our original nature, which is divine, we're here to experience that divine nature where things are supposed to be given or, used for little or no money. It was not a place where we came to be struggling and fighting each other, coming up with all conspiracy theories on how to divide and conquer people. No, that was not the plan of that divine nature that Christians call God, Muslims call Allah, and Buddhists and all of that stuff. No, it was not that. We are here as gods in training, as gods having a human experience, and all the resources of the land, we are supposed to make use of them for free or little money. That's why you see those who are coming up with all these different concepts, like the guy in Zimbabwe, Maxwell Chikombuksi, who have invented this gadget that traps a frequency, energy in the air, that people can drive their car. Once it is installed in your car, you can drive your car until your car falls apart. You don't need to pay for gas. You don't need to pay for electricity to charge your car. You don't need a solar panel. None of that. So just for little money. You see that? That's how life was supposed to be here on earth. Not that people will come and be struggling in their own land. They cannot live free. They cannot even enjoy the benefits of the land. They cannot even breathe the air that is even free. That was not the design. So, what has happened? Because some people who wanted to be in control, the few, the 1% who want to control everybody, everything. Now they came up with this ridiculous idea, this wicked design to control people, to control their resources, that make you, they divide you. They bring all kinds of conspiracy that you fight and fight and fight for something that you would have just used for free or little money. We are fighting each other. And they are happy. Because when you are fighting, that's where they come to get those resources and everything that they want. And then you are looking up to them as these demigods. Because they have done what? Stolen your identity. They have stolen that, your attention. They say energy flows where your focus is, or your focus goes, your attention goes. Whatever that you are focusing on, that's where your energy flows. So we have been using our energy in the wrong way. Like I keep saying, that God that we are talking about is within, as energy, as a spark, as a life force, and all of that moves our body, that you know uh, uh, um, uh, uh, moves the cells to carry out their functions, that we are able to function as this human organism. So seeing with the eyes of the God is that place where you drop everything about this division, because that's what they have injected. amongst us. We're fighting each other. We are losing focus on what we should aim at. What is it that we should aim at in our various countries? What do you want? Freedom. You want what? Sovereignty. That you are in charge of your own government. You are in charge of your own resources. You are in charge of everything. Not somebody, you know, dictating to you how you should rule your country, how you should rule, make use of your resources, or what. They will get this first, and then you get this and last, and all of that stuff. So seeing there, it is what? It is not this physical vision that we're talking about. I am here to talk about the esoteric knowledge, the hidden knowledge, the hidden meaning of everything. Because when we talk of spirituality, spirituality is within, it is not without. God is in you as you. God is not external. So if we come to the understanding of this knowledge, or this concept of God, that we are gods, and no God is out there to come and solve the problems of humanity. So people are waking up to this truth. And that's why you see there is that shift going on in the world today, especially in Africa, because it started where? It started in Amazonia. Amazonia is the epicenter of that truth, that spark, that light of resilience. It started in Amazonia. So countries like Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, they were tapping into that energy. And more countries, it's going to send a ripple effect down the road. More countries will be tapping into that energy of Amazonia, who are resilient for 9 years. 9 years nonstop. We're not talking of from the time of 1961 that the United Nations, Britain and France stole our independence. No, we are not talking of that, because we had our people who were still, in every generation, they kept the flame. And that's why we were able in 2016, 2017, because that flame was still on. The flame of truth, it was still on. That's how we were able to continue, and up till today, as long as that flame is burning. More nations, more African nations will continue to rise to fight for their sovereignty and their independence. Okay? So, give me 1 second. Some messages are coming here. Let me see. Okay. Yes. So, seeing with the eyes of the gods. Somebody will say, why are there many gods? I have given us gods there is just the attribute of that divine energy. And I have shown us there are 4 attributes that I call 4 cardinal virtues. And I put them here for those of you watching for the first time. Here again, these cardinal virtues. It starts here in the south, truth. In the east, conscience. In the west, righteousness. And in the north, justice. You see that? So these cardinal points, wherever that your country is located, the people in that nation, to show you that That energy does not lie. The people in that nation, they behave just exactly as these cardinal virtues. Huh? So it's either you are on track with these virtues, or you are on the opposite side of your purpose. Like, I'll take for example Amazonia. Before, they were calling you West Cameroon, right? West Cameroon. Where, what is West here represent? Righteousness, right? So what you are doing today, it is what you are supposed to do the right thing, so that truth will manifest to justice. And now you are called what? Southern Cameroon. South there is what? Truth. That is where the flame burns. The flame of truth. The fire of truth. This is where it burns in the south. Huh? So when you go to Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, when Burkina Faso says they are the people of uprightness, what is uprightness there? In the West. Are they not West African? You see that? So everything is designed. If we understand symbols, then we'll interpret them correctly. We'll know that what we are doing, our behavior, everything is being shaped according to these virtues. So it's either you are aligning with this divine consciousness, or you misalign with it and then you're doing all the negative things. It is one energy. How you use it is what you get. As they will say in a, is it a Kemetic principle? Um, Spirituality as within, as without. In Christianity, they say as in heaven, as on earth. So what you do, how you align your divine self, the God within, your inner world, that is the energy you're going to put out. So when we are talking about this energy, then we look at how Africa, what is it that we have done? The wrong information, the belief system from our religious beliefs and traditional beliefs, all of that, they have shaped us. And now what we see is all suffering and poverty and, all the negative things that we are seeing. So we have to go back inward and realign with that divine principle. And that's why I'm here, to show us that we are gods. The things that are happening, the world is waking up today, Africa is waking up today, is because they have seen that they have been waiting for this God from the sky is not coming. And if they don't take things into their own hands to change their narrative, to change their vision of or perception about themselves, nobody is going to do anything. Nobody cares, because the world thrives in poverty. The world thrives in all those negative energy that you emit. The rulers of this world, yes. Once you're crying and you're being destabilized, running all over the place, that is where they find joy, because they are doing it even more. And that's why I keep asking my fellow religious people, be you Christian, Muslim, or all of that, that God, why is he not coming from the sky to stop the suffering of the world? He's not there, because you are it. So until we wake up to this truth and start changing our reality to match with what we preach or teach, that's how we're going to find that freedom, justice, and sovereignty and independence in our lifetime. Okay? So you are the architect to redefine your identity and reality. It says, those who thrive now will be the ones to shape the next phase of human consciousness globally. Because as this shift is going on, huh, people will still be trapped in their old selves, in their old way of thinking, in their old way of doing things. There are people who will still stay there. I've talked about samsara. Huh? Samsara is the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, right? So it is how you think, how you do things. Are you going to change your perspective? Are you going to change the way you see things in life? Are you going to change in your own negative ideas? If not, you stay in that same place. Because as things are happening right now, we see the shift going on, the uprising in Africa, where people are standing up and seeing how all the strategies of the West that they have used to suppress Africa. Now Africans are waking up, and social media is the platform that they are using to expose all of this. And if you don't want to come out of that illusion, that place where you keep staying there and get controlled by these rulers and system of the world, then you stay there. But people are stepping out of that cycle. They are stepping out into a place of freedom, into a place where they are redefining themselves, their identity, they are redefining their own reality. You get that? So when you see the revolution going on, it is about what? Know that the people, their mindset has changed. Their perception has changed. It is not what the West and others impose on them. Even their religion, many people are coming out of it and they are seeing the truth. Huh? That all those things that were in that religion, they were all, you misinterpreted them. You misinterpreted them. And the truth is coming out like wildfire that you cannot stop. So if you want to choose to stay in that old mindset, it is up to you. Or you move swiftly, like this statement says, those who thrive now will be the ones to shape the next phase of human consciousness globally. Because they have seen, they have awakened, they have come to know their true nature. And so they'll be the ones to go out there and tell the people and teach the people the truth about themselves. Because the whole world is crumbling. It is crumbling so fast. You see, in the geopolitical system, it is crumbling so fast. Huh? The new world is here. So those of you in religion who were prophesying, oh, new world order and all of that stuff, the new world is here. Can you see it? You need the eyes of the gods. Yeah? And then by God there, I said that the attributes of God, which are four: truth, conscience, righteousness, and justice. So each of these attributes, they rule over your mental abilities or mental capacities before you can manifest anything. Huh? So truth will have to rule a certain part of your thoughts. Conscience will have to rule a certain part of your thoughts as the thoughts are progressing to produce the thing, the desire that you want. They have to carry the nature of this divine energy called God in Christianity. So Seeing with the eyes of the gods, it means you are seeing with your mind's eyes, not your visual eyes. These eyes like this, not your eyesight. You are seeing with your mind's eyes. Because for far too long, Africans and the world, even the European Americans and all of that, they have been using but their eyesight to see things. So a lot of things are happening. They don't pay attention. That's why you go to the American population when they go to the voting polls, huh? You don't look at what you just go and check those areas of your where your government has asked you to check, and if you're a Democrat or a Republican. But what your countries are doing outside of your borders, you don't see that, because you are just seeing the things with your physical eyes. You don't use your mind to look and see what is it that my people, my government is doing. Huh? What is it? Can we as a citizen rise up and tell the government, no, this is all the one human race? Because if you start looking at African countries like you will treat yourself, then you will know that we are all one human race. That is where the mind's eye comes in, to see things in whole, that we are one human race. But if you cannot see things as one human race, that's when you bring the division, you bring all the discrimination, you bring all the racism and all other things, to treat other humans, to subjugate them like they are second class citizens or subhumans. Do you get that? So when we start to use our mind's eyes, then we will treat everybody equal. We will allow people to have their own freedom. Ah, let me do my hands like President Trump. We will allow people to have their freedom. Yeah, be sovereign, control their resources, control their government, right? Be in charge of their military, not foreign invasion of a military and all of that, built in somebody else's country. No, we will not do that. So this monumental shift that is happening is disrupting the old systems in place, whether in industries or individuals. Yeah, we see that people are waking up to new realities, to not wait for anybody, whether the God coming from the sky or whether waiting for the West to come and save you with their aids and all of that. No, they are not waiting for that, because history has already proven right now Burkina Faso, they are sustaining their economy with their gold that they are selling. Mali the same, Niger the same. We can see that. So you are not waiting for aid from the West. Huh? You're no longer waiting for that. So we are waking up, right? They redefine their lives and identities. It's a change in how we think, we live, we work, and how we believe we are. So, seeing with the eyes of the gods, it means you are looking within, because you have to find that value within yourself. Nobody is going to give you the value. Huh? Nobody is going to, because all they're looking but in your soul. What is in your soul? So, you, the individuals, they don't care. That's why they can kill, they can do everything to eliminate you. So they get those things for free. But if they are trying to get your own resources for free, is that not what the definition of God should be? Like when I said in the beginning, we are here as gods in training. We are here as gods having a human experience where we are supposed to use all the resources for free or little money. So when they are coming to unalive you, to destabilize you and do all of that, to take your resources for free, that is already what they are showing you, that this is how we're supposed to live here on earth, that we enjoy these resources for free or nothing. Huh? And our people who are still trapped in that mindset, because they are dropping you what? Peanut. Huh? They're dropping you peanuts for something that is yours. Somebody is coming from the outside and giving you peanut. Oh, take this. This is what I want you to do. Huh? Our people at the home front, every day, electricity is flickering, flicker. Huh? 1 hour electricity, and the next 8 hours no electricity. This, that, internet, and the next 24 hours, days, no internet, all of that. No good source of water, nothing, no good roads, nothing. Not, so why are we here then? Why are we here? That some people would think that they are the ones who deserve all the best in life, while the others, they classify you as poor nations and all of that stuff, you know, until we start to see with the eyes of the gods. And seeing with the eyes of the gods, it means you have cherished your own self, you value yourself, you are redefining yourself. And that's what the Ambazonia people are doing, because what was done to us in 1961, how they rigged elections, how they stole our identity, our independence, and everything, forced us to live under a people who have no purpose in life other than their immorality, sexual immorality, and all of that that they do in their country. That is all they are good at. That is what they force us to live with. And we rose up in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. That enough is enough. No to genocide. Never again generation that you're going to take us for a ride. No, it will not work. If there is no Ambazonia, there will be no La Republic. Huh? That black on black slavery is not going to work on this generation, because that's what they do. They pick a certain people and they say, oh, these ones are more superior. Oh, your tribe, whether it's the tribe, because even there in La Republic, there is the whether the Beti or the Bulu tribe, they are fighting who should always be in power and all of that. And the foreigner will come and say, oh, we empower this one and they should take over. Because, well, what are they doing? They are doing that for their own interest. So when we come to this realization that it has always been the interest of the foreigner that has caused us to be in this predicament, then we will rise up as a people, as Ambazonians. We will rise up to fight and take back what is right, what is lawfully ours, and don't let people continue to trample on us. The suffering, the impunity that have meted upon our people is just appalling. We cannot sit back and watch this carnage unfold in this generation. That a black man would take the joy to kill his fellow black man. We cannot sit and watch that. No. So it is time to change the way we think. Huh? Change the way you live, how you work, how you do things. Because in the past, we have been living like, oh, these poor people. In all, you see families struggling to see how they can get money, sell their farmland, sell their houses, sell their plots, and all of that just to raise money to send a child abroad to go study or to go make money so it can come and sustain the family and take them out of poverty. Is that what we continue to do from generation to generation? It just asks us to come to this realization that we should have one vision, one purpose, one value to fight and free our people. That never again in our lifetime or the generation unborn are we going to see this division, disunity, all of this discrimination in our lifetime. It will not happen. So we must correct this mistake in this generation. I'm not here to talk about your religion or all of that because they use most of you religious people. They use you. You are the first people to sell your people, and then they go to your traditions because those are the values that define your identity. Huh? You go to your traditional rulers and then get the religious clergies or what, and all of that. These are the two main categories of people that if they get them, know that, oh, well, you are the one that control the majority of the population. But the old systems are dying. The old systems are dying. Today we see even the sector of jobs, job creation and all of that. Most jobs are turning to digital and automation. You know, where the technology there, the AI is working for you 24/7. So it needs just a little, maybe attention or human attention. That's where we see things are transforming now or transitioning to that. You go to the institutions that used to have authority in controlling people and directing stuff, but now we have decentralized creators. Huh? Like in social media now, people now are making money on social media. They're using social media to make money. Most people now don't even belong to any institution. They are independent in their own creativity and making money. Do you see that? Culturally, you see people that were colonized, given the wrong identity, living in a slavery and colonialism. You see them, they are waking up, they're rising to change that. And we see these changes going on. It is going on very rapidly. And this calls for us to join. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of that, your old self, that you're still dwelling on grudges and the things of the past that are holding you, your negative way of thinking is keeping you in a place where you cannot move forward. It is time to let go of those things. Let go. Whether you were planning to become what in Amazonia or in the Amazonian struggle, you are not there. And Amazonian struggle is still going. The revolution is still on the right track. Huh? and you step out because of grudges and all of that negative thinking and all of that stuff, those of you who are ASA fighters, you were deceived by many people in the diaspora who claim to be leaders of what I don't know. Where are they today? Now you are left to be used by La Republique, some of you handing yourself to the DDR center. It is time to get back on track. Just be true to yourself. The wholeness or holiness that they're talking about, holiness is about being whole, being true to yourself. In what you do it with all sincerity. That is holiness. If you're not doing things in honesty and sincerity, then you are unholy. And it's that wholeness that will take us a long way, because your subconscious mind will process the wholeness or things that have some clarity in them. It means all the impurities of grudges, negative belief system, negative thinking and thoughts, they have been filtered, and now your thought has that honesty, it has that purity, it has that aspiration, the desire to do a good or the right thing. That is holiness. But if your thought is polluted with all of those negative things and all of those grudges and unforgiveness and all of those things, you will stay right there in that cycle. Vicious circle, you're going round and round and round and round. You don't have the ability to break free. When I talked about samsara, I said countries like America and the West and Europe, it is time to break free from this cycle of colonialism, imperialism, and all those your democracy that you're talking about, which is not democracy in actuality. It is about controlling other people's resources, controlling their government, control and dominance. If you will break away from that, because the world is moving forward, the world is waking up, then you'll be isolated. You'll be isolated. That's the truth. If you don't stop that your concept, you'll be isolated. Because this world is owned by everyone who is here today alive. So let's start to see things in the eyes of the gods. You have that eye in the American dollar. I don't know if you can see it clearly there. You see? In the American dollar, right up here. Huh? You see that? They call it the eye of providence. Providence, those internal abilities, which is the spirit of fear, where your desires, your aspirations, your perception about who you are, the image that you want to project to the world, that is where it is being formed. And who helps you to form that? It is your conscience. That is the divine providence that is available, that helps you to shape anything that you want to produce. Your conscience. So if a people don't use their conscience wisely, that's why they say the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, because conscience there is the feminine aspect of this divine energy we're talking about, or God. Conscience. You have truth here. Let me show us again. You have truth is the masculine nature of God. Conscience is the feminine nature of God. Righteousness here is the masculine, and justice is the feminine. So when you have conscience, you are able to produce what? Justice. Because here, your conscience helps you now to take the shape or form what kind of identity you want, how you want people to see. Justice is what? The manifestation or the materialization of things. So it starts here to form the image that you want to project out there, how people you want people to see you. Amazonians want the people of La République, France, Britain, and the world to see them as an independent sovereign nation. And that's why we are in this revolution. And we have demonstrated that we are not slaves. We are not second class citizens to be controlled by La République under the instruction of France. No, we are independent, we are sovereign, and we know who we are. And Amazonia is our land. So, those of you who are still harboring all those negative thoughts, grudges of whatever that made you drop out of this struggle, it is time to get out of that. Get out of that cycle of, because that is your lower self. It's your lower self. The God self, when you start to see things in the God's eyes, it propels you to a place of divinity, that you are a spiritual being who is taking control. You are in absolute control of your destiny. So, all of these traditions, they provide a framework for how people see themselves and how you see the world. And we have stepped out of that. What was imposed on us, we have stepped out of that. That is what gave us the audacity in 2017 when we declared our freedom, our independence, the restoration of our independence. Because it takes what? Clarity, it takes confidence, it takes courage to do these things. Because clarity is that place of where you are changing your vision. Huh? You are adjusting that lens, that mental lens, that this is who I don't see. People don't see me. But this is who I want people to see me. How they should see me. Not a begging continent, not a continent that is ridden with poverty and disease. No, but a continent that is rich, flowing with milk and honey. Oh, that is how we want to project ourselves. And that is who we are. Because your continent is the one feeding the rest of the world. But they made a reverse psychology on you and say, oh, you are the poor reading nation. Because if your continent was not feeding them, how come they are strategizing so badly to take out Ibrahim Traore and the rest? Huh? How come are they doing that if they were so confident in their own continent? Huh? So they did a reverse psychology on us. And we believe those lies for centuries, running to their countries, running to get looking for aids, Yes, and they're bringing it. We're going to save, rescue the people in Africa, and they're putting all those images where flies have flown all over the faces of sick children. But today they say, get out. You don't want to leave. You are strategizing like madness. The whole center has fallen apart. It can no longer hold. Huh? So, Africans, Amazonians, this is your time to rise and fight. You are the gods and goddesses of the world. You are the Eden of the world, where everything you have all the things. The scientists, the engineers, all of them, you have them. The artists, all, you have them in your continent. It is time to take back your identity, because this fight is about your identity. Anyone who can steal your identity, they can control you. And that's what they have done for centuries. But this generation, we are saying enough is enough. This is the last generation that will tolerate that nonsense. So the real battle is identity. People fear losing the version of themselves that no longer works. Huh? Even as individuals, if they say change the way you're doing things, or change the way you're going about your social life, and you've been doing something, one thing over and over, you're getting all the same results, but you keep doing that same thing, and you're thinking that you will have a different result. That's what they call insanity, right? But now they say change. Amazonians, change the way you're thinking, change the way you're doing things. It is not working. It has not worked for the past 60 years. Let's go down to 60 years. It has not worked. So change it. You've been collecting money and little bribes here, positions in the government from La Republique, but your situation there, even your the road to your village, there is no tar there. There is nothing. It is mud, it's potholes, it's everything there. You cannot even go to your village, especially when it rains. So change now, my brother, change, my sister, change. Start doing things in the right way. Huh? Change the way you do things. You go and they give you all those Prado cars, SUVs. They give you all of that, Mr. Priest, yeah, Mr. Moderator. They give you all of those things. Eh? You have all of those cars, Mr. Pastor, Mrs. This, Minister, parliamentarian, the chiefs. You have all of those things they give you. But where is the hospitals? Where are the roads? You fall sick, you are rushing to go to India. Huh? You don't have no hospitals. Huh? Common malaria you cannot cure. They come and bring you their evil vaccine to sterilize your people, your youths. You don't have no research labs. That when those vaccines are brought like that, you can go to your own research lab and look and test if it is something that is good for your people. You don't have those. All you're thinking is all how to bribe, and side chicks here, side chicks there, all of those things. That is all you are thinking in that your smoke brains. Because we don't love our people. We don't love ourselves. You think that when you have all those luxury cars and all of those buildings, is that you love yourself? The outside is not reflecting your inside. Eh? Don't you get it? As within, as without. So if you think that you're living in those mansions and driving those fancy cars and all of that, But you go out there, it does not look like what you think you are. So there is an imbalance there. So let us start seeing with that mind's eyes, the eyes of the gods, where we will have a conscience to do the right thing, and that people will live, they will have their own fair share in society. That is justice. That is justice. Huh? It's that most people fight to hold on to their own version where they think they are comfortable and in control. That's what the West are doing. That's why they are strategizing, using Ivory Coast, that they want to go launch an attack and build drones and base there to go and attack. Say they are fighting terrorists. Who created terrorists in Africa? When I was growing up, we didn't know about terrorists. Huh? We didn't know about terrorists. When I was growing up, we didn't know about anything called malaria. There were mosquitoes. We didn't know about malaria. How all of a sudden malaria just showed up. That mosquitoes now they carry malaria bacteria in them. Huh? How? How? So these are the things that we need to fight to break free and enter this new territory to explore new identity and the infinite potentials that lies within each of us. That's how we're going to rule in our own nation. We're going to rule in our own continent. We're going to be the architect of our destiny. Huh? To reconstruct your belief of self so as to adapt, lead, and thrive during this monumental shift. All identities break down during massive shifts. You hear that? So when there is a shift, like what is going on, we see how people are breaking away from their old habits and their old identities. It is happening before our eyes, right? So, as I said, you need clarity. Clarity what? Easily understood, transparency, purity, and wholeness. A people have to have one vision, have one goal, have one value to fight for this freedom. If you have diverse goals and all of that, it is not possible. And that's why when you look at the international community, the West, how they approach the fight and conflict in most of these areas around the world, Africa and some Asian countries and South America, they'll tell you, oh, they give this conflict is just a crisis, and we're going to do this within. That's why La Republic said 2 weeks they're going to crush Amazonia, because it's during that time that they come up with all this divide and conquer mentality or strategy. They will go and sponsor some counter groups. They will go and give some arm some groups, and then do all of that to stop you from moving to the next phase. But when you get to this place of where people have awakened to see the truth, to know what they want, their purpose, and changing their own reality, to see that this identity that was imposed on them is a wrong identity, you cannot stop them. Once they awaken to their true self, you cannot stop them. Okay? So, confidence again is the trust that they have in the system, the trust that they have in the leadership, the trust that they have in themselves. So, the revolution continues because of this trust. That is confidence, that is faith. And the next one is courage. The courage is what? a creative power, the mental ability to do the right thing in the midst of intimidation or obstacles. That is why we are still here, because those who are still in the struggle, home and abroad, in the refugee camps and everywhere, the ASA, why the thing is still on, because they have these three principles. They have clarity, they have confidence, they have courage, and no one can stop you because they have already crossed the threshold. They have already crossed the threshold. So you can change anything you want when you start to see things differently, seeing in a new perspective. Okay? And so, letting go of the old version means to stop clinging to the past beliefs, habits, relationships, or emotions that are no longer serving you or are holding you back from growth and well being. It involves accepting that certain aspects of the past, like how you used to be in control of things, people were used to be in charge, they're giving you all those titles in that old system. You're so happy and you don't want to let go. All the little royalties that were coming, you don't want to let go of those things. So you're still holding on to that old version of you. It is time to let go. Those are just crumbs. There is trillions and trillions of dollars under your soil. Okay? So focus on creating and shaping a future that aligns with truth and justice, where people are treated with respect and have their fair share in society. That's what you should focus on. We're not going to have an Amazonia where this one is oh, these are rich people and these are poor people. No, we're not going to have that kind of Amazonia. Everybody is treated equal. The law works for all. If you violate the law, you do the time or you face the consequences. The law works for all. Everyone is equal before the law. Okay? It means acknowledging that change is inevitable and being open to new experiences, perspectives, and opportunities. It means shifting your attention away from dwelling on the past grudges and negative feelings that can prevent you from moving forward. Even in your personal life, most people are stuck that they don't want to let go of grudges. They call them unforgiveness and all of that stuff, and they are being trapped there. You see, whatever they do, they still have all the negative feedback, and they say, oh, they attribute it to, oh, I've been cursed. Nobody cursed you. If you don't give your power to somebody to curse you, nobody has the authority over your life to curse you. Okay? By releasing or letting go allows for personal growth and development by freeing yourself from the rigid and outdated ways of thinking and behaving. So let go. It's time to let go and come and fight for the freedom of your people. Come and fight for the freedom of Africa. Come and fight for the freedom of the world. Because we are interconnected. It might surprise you. By releasing the old, you create space for new relationships, opportunities, and experiences that can enrich your life. So, seeing with the eyes of God, that is what it will do you when you let go of grudges, of negative behaviors or thoughts, um, of all your old version of self. Just let go and enter into this new phase in our history where people are changing things. The gods and goddesses of this world, they are changing things, not the gods of the sky. The gods of this world, you and me, we are changing things. So come and be a part of this monumental shift. Okay? And you'll be counted in history. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and see you tomorrow at the draft that is launching of the county draft tomorrow, 8 p.m. Amber time. Bye.